give us, just explain in layman terms these popular taxes and what they mean to the average person. VAT, for example.
Yeah, let me start with VAT. I think that's the one that affects the most people. So, value-added tax is the tax you pay when you buy goods or services. Goods could be you're buying a shirt, you're buying a phone. Services could be you're paying for DSTV, you went to see a movie. And so when that tax is added, it's called value-added tax. Now, what we have done that should be interesting to people under these new tax laws is that from next year, January, we reform the tax system such that this VAT will not place burdens on low-income earners and even the middle class. How do I mean? We looked at what is it that people spend their money on in Nigeria, and there were mostly 5 items. People spend their money on food, they spend it on rent, they spend it on transportation, they spend on education, and they spend it on health. So what we've done is for those 5, we've designed the system to remove the VAT from them. One thing that is very important that your followers and listeners must benefit from today, I'll use one example. If you produce and sell bread, bread is basic food. Currently, under the old laws, VAT is not applicable on bread. It's called exempt. So what that means is when you're selling your bread, don't charge VAT. But the person, the baker that produced the bread, must have incurred VAT in buying equipment, in buying a phone, in buying airtime, the vehicle to go and deliver the bread. All the VAT they incur in producing the bread, they'll have to bear it. What would you do as a business person? You add up your costs, including VAT, to determine the cost of producing a loaf of bread. You add your margin, and you determine how much you sell the bread. Under this new reform, that person producing bread, the bread has been turned from exempt to zero rated. What it means is VAT will apply at 0%, and it means that any VAT the baker has incurred in producing the bread will be refunded 100%. This is massive.
So those who are in bakery, in bread making
just
business.
One example, it's actually food.
Okay.
We've done it for food.
All food? Or
we've done it for education. We've done it for health. If you know anybody that runs a school, whether it's kindergarten, whether it's university, tuition is zero rated from January, which means no VAT. Any VAT you've incurred, from buying laptop to buying school bus, government will refund the VAT. These are some of our reforms for these new laws. One of it will get people excited. And in this reform, we've got many of it.
So if you run a school,
yes,
hospital, no VAT,
pharmacy, shop.
Yeah. What if you run a farm?
Yeah, the same thing. If you run a farm, in fact, under the new law, you run an agric business, 5 years, no tax. Beyond that, your produce.
5 years from January 1, 2025.
No, if you start a new farm business,
okay,
you get 5 years tax-free period.
Okay.
But even those that have been in business before and those that will be beyond 5 years, your produce are now zero rated. You get your input back. By the way, a lot of the inputs you need for agric businesses, we remove the VAT on them. From farm implement to fertilizers. So this is really a regime that says, this tax regime says, we want people to thrive.